All right, this is Coach Brian for our fourth meditation. Hopefully you've been doing your homework. 12 breaths a day, the 12 breath discipline. That's the most important thing you're gonna do. You can sit up in your bed first thing in the morning. That's what I like to do. And you can even, like if your bed has a headboard, you can even lean back into it. And just so that you're not, all of us, including myself, can kind of like be leaning in, especially athletes. You're very future oriented and goal oriented. So for a meditation practice, we want to pull back a little bit into the present moment. So it's a straight spine, it's relaxed shoulders. And wow, just in taking that first deep breath, all that good stuff begins to happen. The nervous system settles down as the breathing slows down. Don't even have to try to do that. It'll just happen organically and naturally. So step back into the present moment. Just in adjusting your posture a little bit to a straight spine, because again, most of us are not in a straight spine. I would say that for this population of athletes, that you are very much like this. That will show up usually in your posture, and you want to be like that. It might even feel like you're leaning back, but you're not. You're actually just sitting up straight. And you can even feel it. It feels like a relief, because what's happening is you're creating space. You're creating space between stimulus and response. Okay, that's what we've been working on with the 12 breath discipline. But here in this practice called the backward step, you're creating space between everything that's happening and you. Okay, that's a little complicated. We're leveling up here, but what's actually happening is you begin to self-observe yourself just by pulling back into the present moment with a straight spine. You begin to create a tiny bit of space between all that is happening internally and that which notices or watches the happening. So let me give you an example. You know, we're all either frustrated or afraid with the situation currently, and so those feelings, before they become thoughts, they arise in the body somewhere. And when we're in it, when we're super in it, it's very difficult for us to get out of it. But what you can do is just pull back, straighten your spine, relax your shoulders, and pay attention to the physical sensation of the breath. And what will begin to happen as you step back into the present moment is you'll begin to see those emotions arise in the body almost as if you were a spectator. Have you ever had an athletic performance where it almost felt like you were watching yourself have that performance? I'm sure some of you have had that before. When you were so in the zone, it was like you were out of body. So this is a way where you can move into flow state, or that high level alpha mind, high performance state automatically. I'm not saying that it's easy. It requires a disciplined everyday practice. But as you straighten your spine, relax your shoulders, follow the physical sensation of inhale, exhale with your mind's eye, you begin to see all that stuff that's happening internally. So the stuff that's happening in your body, because our emotional states arise from our belly, they arise from our heart, they sometimes nestle in the throat. And we can see those things happening and have a bit of detachment, a bit of disassociation from all that arises. Now, to be clear, this disassociation is different than traumatic disassociation. So traumatic disassociation, it's a very obvious difference, is not under your control. something happens and you have this response, and it's almost like just to self-preserve, you pull back from that experience, and it's not under your control. It happens automatically. With meditation, you begin to disassociate under your control. And then the great news about that is you can reassociate. It's about controlling your attention simply by watching the breath. It's as if you were pulling focus, like in a movie, and you pull focus and you pull back and you get perspective on all that's arising. So the second place that we're creating space is from our point of awareness or our field of awareness, usually somewhere around behind the eyebrows, and all that arises. So instead of having our attention in our emotions, where we're going to do things that are out of control. Why? Because we're being pushed around by our emotional state. We begin to watch our emotions. And so we begin to have this experience from a perspective where we can watch it, sit with it, be with it, and then let it go. You know, when you take a bird's eye view of things, things look pretty darn good. They look pretty beautiful on this beautiful day. And then at will, when it's time, when it's appropriate, we can reassociate. And when would we want to do that? Well, actually, we want to be embodied when we're in our athletic event. You're going to be able to oscillate back and forth, just like that, at the speed of mind, which is faster than the speed of light. So there'll be moments during your event where you're pulled back, and there'll be moments in the event when you're fully embodied. Now, the real leveling up happens when you're on your own. So we want to hear from you. We want to know if you're actually practicing offline. If this is the only time you're practicing, that's still going to give you an edge. But if you really want to take it to the next level, to really level up, and that's what we're doing here, it's your on your own practice. It's your practice without a coach, without a device. That's the most challenging one. Not even using a phone, just sitting up straight, relaxing your body and counting 12 breaths. And 12 breaths is a minimum. Because if you have done that, if you have started that and done that now for 2 weeks, it will have already made a difference in your life. And here's the really good news about that. If it's made a difference in your life, it will have an effect on everyone you come in contact with or everyone you reach out to. You will actually become the change that you want to see in the world, simply by watching your breath and being still and giving yourself the opportunity to create space between stimulus and response, and between all that arises within and that which notices and watches the arising. This is Coach Brian. It's a pleasure to be working with you. We'll see you next time. Everyday practice. Get after it.